this one we're going to start off by putting some foam in the container, and I already cut a few pieces. I like to use sheets of foam, so what we did is I cut some smaller blocks to go in the bottom, and then I'm just going to layer them right up on top of each other. Our filler in this particular case is you're going to get a section of garland, a nice long piece, and we're going to take that and make it be like a grass in this container. So I'm going to take and just trim off the end here, and I'm going to turn this into like a little bit of a filler in here. I'm going to turn it into some little picks, all right? So I've got 5 or 6 stems here on one, and I'm going to trim that and have a little bitty base. So let's do that at least 3 times to start with. Now, I've got my glue pot over here, and we're going to bring it in to dip these in and start kind of shaping up our container. So let's take and put one in the middle to start with. And this is just our grass to fill in the middle. Our florals are going to come way out of here, but we're going to start with these. So there goes my first piece, and now I'm going to use a couple more. You can always use garland like this, even in Christmas time, anytime throughout the year. Anything that's whimsical works really well with this type of garland. Now, if I want something to feel very natural and beautiful and elegant, like I'm usually teaching you, this is not going to be my choice. But on whimsical, fun pieces, it's fine. I'm going to divide this one into a couple of pieces because I'm going to work my way around now. So I kind of put a tall one in the middle, and now we're just going to work filling it around so it can get nice, full coverage all the way around this baby. Come on, mister. And I'm just shaping those up, giving that a twirl in the glue, and then I'm bringing it back in. We're just going to work our way around. Oh, we're already to the back already. How cute. So I went a little bit smaller on these cuts. I think it's a little more effective, but you kind of don't know that till you get your middle piece in. All right, but you have more than enough to get good coverage. I'm really not worried about that. And here comes our last one right in there. So the idea is we filled in the base. You can't really see the foam. It's still underneath there, but you see we've got it all nice and hidden. And he's got the greatest hair ever now. Isn't he cute? Oh, but we are not done. His hair is going to next level. Are you ready? Okay, let's have some fun. So we're going to start off with our eyeballs, and they're going to go in next. Now, I want one of the eyeballs to be kind of right in the center, being like the tallest part, and I don't want it to be too tall, so I'll kind of measure out. Remember, my foam is right about here, so I want that to kind of be a center point on our design. So we'll put this set of eyeballs first, kind of facing front. I love that. Oh, perfect. And now I'm going to hold these eyeballs for a second, and we're going to come in with our curly picks. So our curly picks, we like to use these like fun little fountains of movement. I think they're just too fun. So we have 3 of these, and you're going to use these just like you would like a little carousel. We're going to go around in thirds. I'm going to put a little glue in that. This one's going to go out to the right here. Oh my gosh, so cute. Kind of moving forward. And you can take these curls and have fun with them. Now I'll put one on the left. And I like to manipulate the curls and give them some movement, a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little up. It just gives you so much more movement. And we're already giving him the epic hairdo of a lifetime. Look at him. I mean, he's so cute. Let's go on the left. All right, and a little bit forward because we're going to put one of the curly cues in the back. So this one we're going to have come a little bit more forward. Yep. And this can come out. Oops, not quite that crazy. Now rotate to the back, and we're going to put our last curly cue right in the back, kind of coming this way. And that one I'm going to kind of leave straight up, like the back of his hair. All right, come here, buddy. There we go. Oh my gosh, he's so cool. Y'all, this is all a kit that you'll get everything you need to make him, and I think you could be so creative with it. Just have a great time. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, hold your eyeballs for a little bit. We're going to take these curly picks from the back. Well, they're not curly yet, but we're going to make them a little curly. And we're going to use these all around to add the fun pops of color in here. We want it to be really whimsical. So I'm going to take and cut this piece off here where you have 2 together. And then you're going to cut these where they'll be individual. And that gives you some nice pieces to put in. And do that with both stems. Oh my gosh, these are so fun. And right now I am not curling these, but you can if you want. These can be easily curled because these are just on really thick like chenille stems. So they definitely will manipulate however you want them. Okay, it went from cute to adorable. All right. It's nothing more fun than whimsical Halloween stuff. It just makes you want to be a maximalist. Go, go, go. Decorate, decorate. Have fun. All right, so when we get done, we've got the two that are the individual pieces. We have 4 of those, and we got our eyeballs just off to the side. Now save these. We might want to use these to stake something in another project. Now these 2 pieces, I want them to run in between the curly cues. These are the tall ones. So have your tallest part going here, and then your smaller part kind of running in between. All right, so we want to create the height of these. And then you can decide, do you want to curl them? Do you want to have them move a little? Or are they good just like they are? So let's bring these down. Oh my gosh, curl this one. Oh yeah, that's just so fun right there. I'm going to curl that one a little deeper. I love it. This one can pop up here. All right, the same thing on this side. So the taller part running in between and the smaller part coming out right behind that eyeball. And we can just make this super duper cute. Let's do it. I love that. Let's go right here. Woohoo! Let's bring that one to the back. I love this. And curl that one or let it go wild. You see how much fun that is now? Look at this hairdo. Y'all, these type of things are just great for me at craft shows. These really, really do well. Just because they're just so whimsical. Now, our other curly pieces here, we're going to curl them actually. They're not curly yet. And I want to use these tight in working around the base. So I'm going to take my first one and just go right in here to the front. And I'm not going to have it come forward. In design school, we call that breaking the plane. I'm not going to do that too much, mainly because his face is right here. And we just want to preserve his face. But I'm trying to get a little of this green color that's moving upward from the rest of the container. I want to bring some of that in there. So I'm going to curl all these, and then we're going to go around. And we'll put one here. So just as you move around, you got a little pop of color there too. I'm going to put this one on the right side. This is the back side of the arrangement. This is pretty fast designing and really, really, really super cute. Look at this. And now this one, I don't really need to be super tall because I'm just trying to go back here in the back. So I'll just curl that up and we'll put right in the middle. And I'll just make a little spot, pop that in. Look how cute. You could even, if you want to be brave, have that go up. All right. Okay. Well, we are just about done. We've got our fun little eyeballs. So I want you to grab our last eyeball pick. Ba-ba! Right here. And we're going to break this down into a couple of smaller pieces. So the way to do that is these two will come with a nice spiky pick, and these two will just be 2 eyeballs. So we're going to break that apart right here. And it's so easy to make the back look adorable too by taking this and just popping these in. And I think it'll be fun to kind of have this go out to the side. Because when these eyeballs come together, he looks like the cutest little monster back here. I think things might have gone wrong in Frankenstein's hair this time. And then take these 2 little eyeballs and put them over here. And now she's not only cute on the front, but he's cute on the back. It's adorable. And you can pull these up too. That's what's fun. These can do whatever you want them to do. You know, move out and up. And even these other ones you already put in, have them kind of come forward because that makes them a little bit more whimsical. You didn't know you were going to love playing with the little eyeballs so much. Y'all, I hope this kicks off your Halloween season with a bang. And what an adorable arrangement are you going to make for your home, okay? Grab this kit here at Keleas.com. Ask for the link. We'll share it with you. I am ready to make a cute witch centerpiece with you. This one is all made on a pumpkin, and I love it because I've got this kind of a medium-sized pumpkin, but he looks totally, totally real. You can pick these up at any craft store. We will have a complete supply list for you if you want to get all the supplies. It'll be in the description of the video. All right, we're going to start to prep our base. And what we want to do here is I want to make this super cute and whimsical. So I like to use this hard floral foam, and I've taken a couple of small blocks, and we're just going to take and put one on the front, one on the back, and I'm going to kind of balance them. You could use one piece and cut a hole for the stem too. That would work as well. I like to double secure it with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, and Gorilla Glue is right here. I just get this at my craft store, Walmart, Amazon, anything like that. I'm going to start off here by putting the 2 pieces of foam on. So now I'm going to put some hot glue, go into my glue pot over here, and I'm just going to scrape it off, but you want it kind of thick and juicy. So we're going to put this one back here. I'm going to kind of scrapey and get a lot of glue on there. And then I'm going to put one towards the front. So we're kind of separating it in between the two. Now, one of the reasons I love using the foam pumpkins is they're very forgiving, they're easy to work with. And what we can do is take some floral pins, or you can take like some toothpicks or something that's kind of spiky, and I can take and put these right through to my pumpkin. These are U-pins, okay? So I'm just gonna push them through and push them in. Y'all, pins in, glue on, extra glue on. It feels pretty stable. I'm happy with that. I've got a black garland. I love these black garlands. Of course, you can use them like a garland, like you would in your home. But I use them for filler too, and they work great because this can work as a greenery almost for Halloween because it's black. And it's tinsel, it's on a nice wire. So we're gonna start off by camouflaging a lot of our mechanics here with this. So I'm going to take and fluff it up. I will call that shaking hands. We're going to shake hands, get everybody going in the right direction. We're going to cut this into some smaller sections. But I want this to be in smaller sections where we can start camouflaging the foam at the bottom. If you like our skeleton head in the back, we made him in a pumpkin head in design school. Totally love those projects. They're exclusive to that group. And they have the supply list. They can pop on there and order anything they need to make that exact project, or take the supply list shopping at their favorite craft store and stock up to make the exact same project. Y'all, if you'd like to join our class, just go to KeleasDesignSchool.com and you will be set up. You can go to WreathTeacher.com too. That might be easier than my name to spell. All right, I'm coming on with these pieces, and we're going to just take, and I am just going to put them really close to the foam, so I'm just going to bend them. And I'm going to use my floral pins over here again. And then I just take those and I'm going to pin them into the side of my foam. Or we know you can go directly into the pumpkin too if you want to. But you can see how that's already kind of camouflaging our foam on there. So I'm going to work my way around. Let me get another one. We'll just bend it around. Now, at Christmas time, you can use the same green pine to camouflage the same type of things for Christmas. So I could do this same type of design for Christmas, but on a big ball. How about a big, beautiful Christmas ball? Yeah, I got you thinking now. I got you thinking now. You're going, hey, options, baby, options. And we're going to work our way around. Oh, that one kind of needs to get, I think we'll push this one into the foam right here. I pinned it on the one side, but not that side. I just use my electric glue skillet like a glue gun. It works just fine. It doesn't get as hot as a glue gun, so I get way less burns. And I'm able to just dip things in there and swirl them around. So it's really quick and easy to work with them. All right, now this piece we're going to just have around the back, and I'll just pin that in a couple of places. And you can see we've already covered up a lot of our mechanics. We're hiding our green foam, so that way it's less to do later. Now sometimes I do this kind of mechanic cleanup last, and sometimes I do it first. In this case, we're not going to have a lot of picks like flying out of the bottom. They're going to come more kind of out of the middle zone here. So we have this started, and we can kind of clean up with that as we get to creating. Now, keep in mind we want to keep our weight balanced. I know I'm going to have a hat, I'm going to have legs. So as we're designing, we got to think about, okay, where is everybody going when we put it on there, okay? So I think we'll kind of sit it like this, a little catty corner. This is our hat, and our hat's going to go right here. I'm going to put it kind of off to the side in the middle, but I think I want to kind of crunch up the top of the hat and get this moving, give it a little action. So I'm going to cut the little hanger off of it. We don't need that. And we're going to grab one of our stems. I have a longer stem, and you'll have some too on the project that we're doing today. You'll be able to cut the stem off. And we're just going to slice a little hole and go right up the middle so we can kind of manipulate this hat the way we want it. So just get in here and slice it up. This is felt, but you can just poke it and cut it. Put this piece in and see if you can work it to the top. Wiggle, 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 watch it wiggle, see it jiggle. Let me try a skinnier, let me find one that's a little skinnier and see if we can get up a little higher. These black curls we're about to use, they're gonna be pretty skinny, so let's try one of these. I don't know if it'll be long enough though. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Now, I'm gonna put some glue on it now, since I got it in there a little bit better. And that'll help me have a little bit more control over angling the hat and how I want it. So I want it off to the side like this, and that way I can kind of droop it over. We're just gonna cut that for a couple of inches. And then I'm gonna put a little glue on it. And we're gonna put that witch's hat right in. All right, and bring her way back here. Push her in, get her started. There she goes, yes, yes. So she's gonna kind of be off to the back here. And then I think I wanna take and even bend this hat back a little bit so we can have all this fun stuff in here. So in order to accomplish this, I feel like we should put some glue on there and let it start kind of setting up. And then if you had a clamp like that you could put on it, that would be perfect. So I don't have to hold it for a second. So hold please, holding. But if you had a clamp or a clothespin, you just close it right on there and it would hold pretty good. We want to try to get that set up. Now while I'm holding that, let's get our legs in. I think our legs would be super cute. We could do them a couple of ways, but I think I want our legs just kind of crisscrossing like she's chilling here, coming out to the side. They also have wires in them. Let me see if she'll hold you. Oh yes, she's doing good over here. Don't come undone. There she goes. Don't you do it, girl. You stay closed. See how cute it is to take the legs and like crisscross them or kick them up? I think they're so fun. I'm gonna cut this little hanger off and we're gonna pin these in kind of towards the top. All right. You guys, wherever you're watching from, make sure you let us know on the video because we're having so much fun. And then make sure you like, subscribe, and follow so you can get more exciting, fun stuff. If you like this Halloween pieces, you can imagine what we're going to do for Christmas and fall and all the seasons. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's tuck these dudes up in here. They do have wires. I'm going to try to pop the wire through the little leg. We're gonna manhandle this leg. Pardon me for popping out your hip, Miss Witch. Oh, she caught my cable to my phone. Okay. Oh, yep. Beautiful. Now I can play with that some in a minute. We can get it going how we want it. Oh, yes. She's kind of loose, you know. She keeps these legs moving. Yes. Okay. Pop her other hip out. Pardon me while I pop the hip out. Excuse me. Wire coming out. Oh, there it is. Okay, and I want to get this one where she's also just having a great time. And these legs are rocking up here. Let's put this one over here. And then I'm going to see if we can crisscross them. Well, I don't want to have to give her a knee replacement, but I'm feeling like I want them to be up and presenting themselves. There we go. But so far, her hat is chilling back. Her legs are a little bit, we had to do a little dislocation. And then we're ready to put her florals in. And we're going to keep this super simple. We are going to put in these cute little curls in a minute, because these remind me of cute little curly hair. And we're going to give her some berries in there too. So let me start with the berries, and we'll start to section them out. And I want these to kind of give us that creepy feel against the black pine we have in there too. So let's go ahead and lay the foundation with the black pine for her hair. Then we'll come on top of it with the berries and the curls. If you know what I mean, it'll be a 3-step approach to go in here. So let's get this one in here. I'm going to take our pine piece. Now these come in 6-foot garlands, but we're taking and we are using them and cutting them in little sections. So I had used some of this garland in another project already. So I'm going to hold it like a pencil. We're going to swirl it around in the glue pot. And I'm ready to put this in on the right side. Okay, here it comes. Bring it towards me. I'm going to go to that back foam. Okay, and while I'm putting everything in, I also have to think kind of about a little bit about balance, because I just want to try to balance my pumpkin out. Perfect. Now we'll put this one on the left. Super cute. Super cute. Now let's take and fluff this one out, and we're gonna put this one on the left. A little on the right, a little on the left. Her hair is looking fabulous. So that's gonna work really good as a foundation, and it'll give us a nice black backdrop for the berries to go on top of. Okay, berry time. I dropped the berries, but I got them. Okay, no, these berries I've been working with a lot, and I'm loving them because they're very manipulative, and you can move them around and have so much fun. So out of each stem, I think we can get 2 cuts. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna save these little wires. We might need more. We might need more of the wires. Especially if I get crazy with these legs and I dislocate her hip again. Okay, first going in here. All right, and I want that to kind of poke up and move out. And this one I'm gonna put right next to it. So we got some berries going on the left here. I'm gonna put that one in closer to the hat. Now we tied a bow on a video already for this project. So we will be linking that bow video up also too in this YouTube video so you can have it together. So the bow video will be here and this project video. So when we get to the bow part, it'll be a separate one. All right, I'm just cutting those into 2 sections also. And we're gonna come on to the other side. How you doing? Hello, 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 hello. I love these stinking cute polka dot boots. I feel like I need polka dot boots. See, that's why we have to keep it balanced, because otherwise, you know, she'll start kicking up her feet and things will get wild. They will accuse her of riding her broom under the influence of berries. Oh my gosh. She's so cute. Let's go on the other side. We're going to do the same placement we just did on the left. We're going to do on the right. Oh my gosh, so cute. So you can notice I'm going to leave the center open. We call that the bow zone. So in a lot of our projects, we identify where the bow is going to go, and then we work on our transition points around that. So that's something I would teach in design school as well. So keep that in mind, y'all. If you're creating this for yourself, you've got to establish those zones and stay in them. All right, berries. Berry, 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 berry. She's looking so cute. She's looking really good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give her some berries in the back too, because I want her to look cute all the way around. So let's take and cut this piece down a little bit even smaller. You can't really do it much smaller. I got one berry blowout here. No, we were doing so good, berries. That's okay, I'll remove it. I'm going to cut these into 2 smaller sections. So these are going to be like her back of her hair. They don't need to be quite so dramatic. I'll cut these down. I'm just using my little cutters. And we'll put these around the back. That way she'll be cute in the back too. And let's spin this around and kind of give her just a little touch on the back side. Okay, watch your boots, girl. These boots were made for flying. Okay, now we got our hat, and I'm going to put a little berries in the back here. We don't need a whole lot, just a little bit to make it cute. That's where we had our little bit of our hanger up there. So this stem's going to go in right here. Push that in, perfect. And then I'm going to use some of this pine to just kind of hide my greenery up here. She can have her hair back here. All right, and then how about a little bit on the right? I'm going to trim these down a little. Make them a little shorter. We'll pull them off the stem. Blue merinos. Are you going to do some cute stuff for yourself for Halloween? Or are you all about just selling it? Let me know in the comments here. Are you like, no girl, I am here to make the dollars? Or are you like, I got to have cute stuff too? I know I have a combination of both. So I tell you what, I'm gonna put these in individually, but then we're gonna come and also do the. I'm gonna take this one out and we're gonna cut it a little shorter because it's a little bit longer than I think I want it. So let me pull it out. If you just take your time and gently pull it out, you won't rip a big hole of the foam. So when you do tear them, you got to clean up those edges because they won't go in neat to your piece. You got to make them neat and clean. Okay, now let's take and fix around her little hat here. I think a little shorter will be cuter. There we go. And I'm going to put this one in and then just cover that glue with the, you know how I'm usually using moss to cover glue. If you're a normal blue merino, well, none of us are normal. Let me rephrase that. If you're a regular viewer, then you know I would use Spanish moss to cover that, especially if you're in design school. But in this project, we're using the black garland the same way. And then I'm popping all these cute little berries in. And then I'm just going to bring the pine over the top to hide it. So now she got the cute little hair in the back too. So hair in the front, hair in the back. Look at her. She is a diva. She's feeling good. Now, I want to do a little bit of fun stuff on the hat too up here. I'm going to use the combination of the curls and the berries. But let's take and get that bow in the bow zone real fast. Remember, we made this on another video, so you'll be able to grab that video and put it, watch to learn how to make it. Basically, we call this a 2-1, and then we did a pop of just a tail in here. I'm going to need to put I'm going to need to make my own floral pin in the back. So I'm going to grab this. This is a piece of wire I saved from another stem. And watch, you can make your own really big U-pin. So I just fold it like a V. There it is. And then run that through the back of your bow. I probably put a cable tie in the back of this bow when I made it, but sometimes I'm getting ready to take pictures of the bows and I take the cable tie out. So, duh, I needed to leave it in there. So the reason we want that longer wire is we got to reach way back here. So we need some room to get back to it. So just adjust. You can always make your own wire U-pins and use to put your own bow in. Now, different ways to put bows in, very practical, would be just regular straight up and down, where you'd have that black and white straight up and down. That would be fine. I generally like to go whimsical, and I want to kind of angle the bow. And so I'm going to do that, where this is going to go in where the black and white kind of goes up at an angle. Okay? Just because you're using a floral pin, you still have to glue into the foam to keep it in place. So I'm going to put the glue on, and we're going to push her in here very carefully. I'm going to put her in that back foam back here. Why is there glue on this tail? Tonight's not the night. Everything's not going to be alright. 'Cause you dipped your ribbon in the glue. Now you gotta cut it. Fail. That's okay. We'll just recut these where they match. So I'm going to re-dovetail them. Somehow I dipped that in the hot glue. Rookie mistake. So I gotta cut this other side to match now. If you accidentally do that, it's not the end of the world. You just sing a song and you fix it. Especially if you're Looney Tunes like me. Alright, we're gonna be, I don't know if we're kicking these heels over. We can always just leave them loose and then we can kick them over when we get, wherever we want to display it or take pictures. But I think I'm not gonna permanently glue them together and make them permanent. Okay, so she's super cute. She's got berries, she's got garland, she's got this touch of whimsy with the black and white, and we're gonna take some little curls to add just a little bit more fun to her, and we're gonna use those up here, kind of coming out from the hat and around her whole body here. So let me fix this too. See how this one's kind of jetting out and it doesn't match this side? If you see that in your piece, just come back and just say, hey, I'm gonna trim that down, no big deal. And I'm going to make it a little shorter and go back right where it was. Okay, and you may not notice that till you get towards the end of it. Just like I did. I didn't really notice it as I was manipulating this chip into how I wanted her. I was molding her to what I wanted. There she is. Super cute. Alright. I like that better. Isn't she cute? Alright, let me grab my other curls off the ground. Of course, I always drop something on the ground that requires me to move to get it. But I will get it. Aha! The other curl. Okay, so these curls, I'm going to use them kind of whimsical, and I would like to have a couple coming from behind the bow with just a little bit of berry, and maybe, we'll have some coming down. But these are going to be my last and final touch I'm putting on, so let's separate this into a couple of sections. It's pretty easy to take one long one here, trim it, and then you'll have a baby one right there, okay? And I think these would be fun to come out from behind the bow, kind of shooting up a little. So I'm gonna come in here and put a little glue. And we're going to need to just go in kind of behind the bow a little into that foam. Now don't worry that you just have to bend this back a little. All right, no big deal. And then what I want you to do is I want you to have these curls reach up. Anytime you've got anything that curls, you get these cute little picks from Keleas.com. You see how I can manipulate them and I can really let them be whimsical? Do that. You don't have to use them just how they come flat. Take and play with them. They're so fun to manipulate in different directions. So let's do the same thing here. I'm going to leave this one, I think, all the way long, because we're going to do what's called create a line. So when you're designing, you've got, direction, you've got flows, but then you're able to create a line that draws the eye through the design. So even though this is fun and whimsical, there's a lot of precision we're going to use. We're not just going to stuff things in. That's how I teach in design school, and I'm going to show you guys the same way. So this is how this pick is right here, right? It's kind of mirrored. So if I were to bring it down, and it would be exactly the same way this way, right? If I were to manipulate it that way, but I'd love for it to swoop that way also. So if I want to do that, all I've got to do is bring these this way, and now it can be just almost like an S curve line working through the middle. Okay, if I nerded out too much on curves and curls and lines, just have fun creating too. I get excited about weird stuff. I'm sorry, Bloomerinos, but this is what I love to do. Okay, we're going to come in the bottom with this one. I just swirled it in. Come in down low, and we're going to go to that back foam. I want to hear it crunch in. Once it's crunched, I know it's in, and now it's going to flow down. And what I want you to do is take and start to move them around. Y'all, I hear Honey Bunny moving the hose out there. Oh, Moo just walked in. Hey, Moo. Hey. Do you have a quick question you need to ask, Moo?
I can wait.
Okay.
It's fine.
So we're making a cute witch. Do you think her legs should cross? Right now we're leaving them out.
I think it should be out.
You like it out?
If it crossed, it would, like...
I told him she's kind of loose, so, Now we're going to take and put the last curl in over this other side. I'm sure you guys are saying, hey, Moo. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the love. I'm going to take my last piece. Once I've got my curls in, I'm happy with my flow. I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of triangle placement, pop this one off to the right. And you can see how I'm letting this just flow differently. And that's going to go over to that side. So even though we use the curls, we didn't use them like the hair. We use the berries like the hair. We're using the curls as the accent pieces. And we don't have to have tons of stuff. We just have 3 elements here. I'm going to pop in my last berry, kind of coming right underneath the bow like it's a little bit of her bangs. And I think we did it. We did it. I think she's super cute. She's fun. She's whimsical. You can add brooms. You can give her candy. You can give her more pumpkins. You can go to town. But this simple recipe of berries, curls, hat, and legs is easy peasy to follow, and you can do it too. Our Freaky Friday, the 13th party. And so that means we're playing with Halloween. We know it's early. We know it's really very early, but hey, isn't that fun? Isn't this what it's supposed to be about when you're playing with flowers and all this fun decor to make just beautiful arrangements? And so today, instead of using flowers, we're going to be working with completely all candy, all Halloween candy. So I'm going to come in here and see who's live with us so I can say hello, of course. You guys, awesome. Now, I don't know if you've seen these. These have been around for a little while, but they're glass candy containers. Now, I got some last Christmas at Target, and this one I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And as you can see, it looks like a cute little vintage candy gumball machine. Okay, the little lid comes off. It is glass, and I wanted to use these last Christmas, and I ran out of time. So this time we are doing it right now, early bird, for Halloween, and I want to show you my idea for creating on this. Hi, Trudy. Hey, Ramona. Hey, Deborah. I'm saying hello to everyone over on Facebook. And hey there, Nicole over here on TikTok. Hey, Ruth. Good to see you, too. So this is the candy jar, and I'm going to show you how to prep it up. Now, I love you, too, Desiree. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Pat. Now, it is not divided, so you could see how my hand goes all the way in? You could fill this totally up for whatever holiday you wanted, but the black base was going to work perfect for Halloween for us. So, I'm going to show you how you can easily fill it up. And one of the things I did is I think real candy corn would be adorable. And they have different colors. And I'm going to take this one because I like the black. You could just fill it with normal candy corn if you want. Of course, it's not really candy corn time right now. But I'll also show you, this is a cake pop pick that we have in the store. And I'll show you how I just cut those off there. And we can just load up the bottom of it with the little cake pop balls, because that's so cute. Just fill them in, and however many you want. And then I added one of these. This is also a pick with cute little cupcakes. And then I pop that cupcake in the center, and just let them be loose in there so they can wiggle around. And what we're going to do is a little trick. I am going to take this and flip it over, and that's going to give us a top. Now, if you're just going to make this for yourself, I would maybe not glue it on. I would just let it sit. But if you're going to make these and sell, take them to your craft shows, then you're going to use that Gorilla Glue, and you're going to glue that on there, okay? I know, I'm spoiling you. Hey, Bonnie. I know. And we're playing with the next season, which is always kind of fun and exciting. So, craft shows, put fake candy, not real candy, load it up. Put your Gorilla Glue on, seal it up, and go ahead and clean that glass inside before you do any of this, okay? So, oh my gosh, Trudy, fantastic. The arrangement we shared for you has sold. I love it. So that's an example right there. I'm going to make mine because these are for me. I'm going to make a couple for myself, for my house. But I'm going to make mine where it can be taken off because I think it'd be nice to be able to store the arrangement part in one part and the glass part in another, okay? So let me show you how to go ahead and get the top prepped, and we'll just put this aside for a little bit, and I'll show you it when it's all together. So the top of the candy jar, I pulled off the little gasket part. This will come right off, okay? So just pull that off. Got a cute little lid there. And grab a little block of floral foam. This is a piece I cut off the larger piece. So to show you guys, this starts off as a giant sheet, and I just worked my way down. I have a little piece like this. Now, the easiest way to know how big to cut this is, we don't need foam out to cover this whole thing. I love how that black edge shows on the top. That looks really pretty. So let's just have foam on the very center of that circle. So just like if you're cutting out cookies with a cookie cutter, just go to the edge of the foam and just press. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Karen. Thank you, Cynthia. It's going to be fun. See? And I press it. Now I have a circle, so now I can cut just right around that. And I usually won't cut it circular. I'll just cut it square because we don't have to be that fancy. So I already did that, and I got my little block here all cut. And this is what we're going to go ahead and secure onto the top of the lid. And we're flipping it over because we're putting it on the top of the candy jar. Everybody got it? Everybody follow? Yes, thumbs up. Fantastic. You guys, we just sent out a text that we were live. So if anybody wants to get on our text list, you'll want to grab a spot. Just go to textkalee.com. or text us at 832-734-5201. Just text us the word live, and we'll send you out alerts when we're live. And, hey, you don't have to always get the text. You can do them whenever you want, but it's so nice to be able to go back through those texts and see what videos you've missed, okay? This is the Gorilla Glue that I'm using right here. It's clear. I like it to attach glass. You could also use E6000. Yes, I know it's Friday the 13th, so we're totally into all the freaky Halloween fun stuff today. It hasn't been that freaky. I like cute Halloween. How about you guys? Tell me in the comments if you do. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Deborah. I put some hot glue on, and I'm going to just wiggle that into place. And that started. And remember, if I'm selling this, I'm going to glue that on because that's the first thing that will get broken at your craft show. We don't want that. Okay. Now, because this particular vase, we want to use a cute little ribbon around it. Hi, Joanne. Good to see you. Hi, CT. Hey, Pamela. Yay. Thanks for coming and hanging out again. We're on a Friday the 13th marathon today. So I'm going to take a little bit of orange ribbon, and the reason I'm using this, I normally would use moss, but this orange ribbon is going to work so good to hide that from the outside, pop the orange from the design. You sold a wreath today. Nice, Sue. Good job, Susan. Fantastic. Renee's loving it. CT, I know you love Halloween. You couldn't stay away. You figured, hey, Friday the 13th, something's going down somewhere, right? We got to, you know, We got to get it on. So I'm going to hold some pressure here, and we're just going to take and glue this in place. It's kind of thicker ribbon to pin through, so I'm just going to put a little glue on it. So this is just functioning as a cover-up for that foam, okay? And you can just use a little bitty piece, okay? Hello, Vicky. Hi, Roxanne. I know. I got some Mike Myers music earlier for our post I did on TikTok, guys, if you didn't see it. That was Mike Myers in it, like that really fast Halloween music. Okay, we're ready to start our design. Base is ready. Looks cute from the side. Here's how it looks. Looks how cute. Now, remember, full of candy corn. Freaking adorable. Hey, Mrs. Grace. Good to see you. Hi, Sue. Hey, Sylvia. So this is a fun pick. It's got balls, black and white, and a beautiful, perfect color for the candy corn and marshmallows. So I'm going to take this and we're going to break this down small because we need to use this all around the base, okay? Hi, Tracy. Thanks for being here every day. I'm sure we're going to have to give away some sweet treats today. You guys are coming in hard. Coming in hot on Friday. Oh, I know. I get it. I get it. Hey, it's the weekend starting, CT. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Now, I'm going to take each of these and also break them in half. So, you guys, if you've never tried this before, when you get bigger picks, just separate them out, divide them into smaller sections. We're going to start to create a beautiful cascade of candy around this design. And I want you to think like synchronized swimming, okay? You know how synchronized swimmers, they make patterns, and they all come up, and they raise that one girl up in the middle, and she's like way up, and you know everybody else is around, their hands are doing that thing. That's what we're about to do with this design, okay? It's going to get crazy. Or if you've ever seen a fountain show with a fountain and the lights, that's what we're about to do. Oh my gosh, and it's a full blood red moon. Oh my gosh, we better just stay home all weekend. Debbie, right? It's hot. I'm just giving these a quick little love, which means just a little rotation and a little bit of movement. The balls are wired. All of this is wired, so I don't have to let it stay all crazy and janky. I can straighten it up. Okay, and let's get this last one. Okay, so I've got 6 picks ready to go there. Now, our like main part that's going in the middle is going to be a big cupcake. So let me grab the big cupcake and bring her into the show to kind of show you. Okay, maybe. Okay, here she comes. And here's a big cupcake. So it's a larger version of the other one. So I'm going to take, she will be going right in the middle of the design in just a little bit. So remember, we need to leave room for her off to the side as I start to go around with this. Woohoo! Sue, you're in the craft room. I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to start to use these kind of going out. I'm going to use the white and yellow going out. 1, 2, and one more 3. Oh, and it's got to be super cute. I'm starting to put them all in right now. Let me pan out just a little bit for you guys on TikTok, or for you on YouTube. Try to go out a little bit. Sometimes centerpieces are tricky with angles. Okay, now I'm going to go in between these, maybe going down just a little bit more with the one with the orange, okay? So we just separated that into 2 pieces and we're going around. I can rotate it because I haven't glued that top on. Let's do it. Right, have some wine and enjoy the craft time. This is more fun. Even though you have orders for wreaths, right? Okay, isn't that precious? Now, we can move these up or down depending what goes around them in the end, but this is what we've got so far on top of our base. Here's what it's looking like, okay? You guys can see what's going on. Okay, now I'm going to move my viewers on TikTok just a little bit. You guys see a little bit better. There y'all go. Okay, everybody good there? Now remember, our cute little cupcake is going in the middle at the end. If I put her in now, it's going to be hard for you to see what I'm doing. Next up, bring in our precious little curls. These little guys right here. And let's cut this stray down also. Right here. And I'm going to use these in between each one of those. And I've got a little plan for the one of these curls. Also, a little bit of a fun little bonus. Right? Does anyone have big plans this weekend? I hope you're having some time to have some fun with flowers or make something cute. Anybody crafting? All right, let me come here and cut that off. All right, now, in between each one of these, I'm going to put one of these black curly curls, okay? And remember that, like I said, the synchronized swimmers, that's what we got going on right now. These are like legs shooting up. Don't you love these visual things I give y'all to visualize these designs? Synchronized swimming little legs popping up. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh my gosh, good. April's going to be crafting. I love it. Fantastic. Push these in. So these are all kind of going up high, and I'm creating this little zone, right? I'm creating this little zone where that cupcake's going to go in a little bit, okay? Francine, you cannot resist the curls. They're the best. Okay, and the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and get the front of my design settled up. So think about this. This is the front. Choose where you want it to be, okay? And we're going to add, I'm going to have this part, I think, right here. You could build this before you glue it. You could. I'm going to put a little bow and a cupcake in there. So these are the smaller cupcakes. This is a new pick. But if you do want to get some of these, you just need one because I put one inside the jar here. And then I'm going to put one on the top. Okay, yay. Crafty brunch with mimosas. How fun is that? Sue's working on 9 orders. Sue, you are working all weekend. Hi, Joanne. Okay, and just cut this off, and I'm just going to make that little pick straight. And we're going to pop that in next to a little bow in the front. I'm not going to make a real big bow, but just a small one. So if this is my front of my jar, I'm just going to put this cupcake into the side, okay? Just press her into the foam right there. So this is the front. You see how cute? Yes! Oh my God, so cute! Now, we're going to add the bow right next to it. Okay, so that's our next step. I'm just going to put this off to the side while I grab my ribbon for my bow. I'm just using a solid orange stripe. It's just so easy to work with. And we can dovetail the tail. I would go for like about a 6-inch tail would do it. It would hang down about that far, maybe 8-inch. Hi, Wendy. Great to see you. I'm glad you're here. Pleat that up and give it a twist. And you just need 2 simple loops, okay? 1 loop here, pleat it, twist it, and 1 on this side. Okay? And then just bring that tail to the front. Isn't this precious? I love these little fun projects, and I hate to rush Halloween on y'all, but you know, it's Friday the 13th. How could I resist? How could I resist? Okay, let's bring this in and get a cable tie on it. Right in the center. Don't get it too tight because I need to add a floral pin because we are going to be pinning it in right next to our cupcake. Let me dovetail this tail. So little cute bow, floral pin in the back. Now the next thing we're going to do is instead of adding another piece of ribbon to the center, y'all, I'm going to use one of those little black picks. We have enough left. We'll put one of those little black curls in the middle. But really simple bow. We just can see the cable tie in the middle right now. So we need to get that fixed. So I'm going to take one of these little curly curls, and we're just going to run this cute little piece right through the middle. Sometimes it's a little unexpected twists that are going to be so cute. Run that right through the middle wire too, right here, and twist it. Hi, Vicki. Good to see you. Desiree, I make it look so easy. Just lots of practice. Lots of practice. Wendy, right? People act crazy because of this day. I love it. Oh, somehow I wiggled that past the... I gotta redo it. I twisted it too much. You know what? We don't really need to twist it on the back. Let me make it a little shorter. Right, Vicky, we're just, yeah. I think whenever we have a Friday the 13th, we'll just stop and do some Halloween. Just to be crazy. Yeah, right? Okay, a little bit of black curly Q right down the center. You have a little bit left of that. You can definitely add in somewhere else. And so my idea is we pop this in right beside the cupcake, okay? So I'm going to dip it in the glue, push it into the foam at an angle. And now we have, so far, we have a cute little bow and a cupcake, okay? Bow and cupcake. And this is the look we're going for, remember? Here's our candy jar. Oh my gosh. This is so cute already. We're not even done. We've got more to do. But I want to keep showing you the progress as we go along. Isn't that cute? So when I stop and show you something like this, if you want to see the steps along the way, you can always take a spring grab, okay? All right. Now let's come in. And I'm ready to put my big old cupcake in the middle. Okay, so here comes that big one. Right here. It's just a bigger version. Now, depending how high you want it to come up, I don't want it to come too high, but I want it a little bit because I'm planning on putting a few little cake balls around it. So I'm trimming it off. I'm going to straighten out this wire. Aw, happy birthday, Pam. You love Friday the 13th? Oh, that's awesome. You got to enjoy it, right? Your mom probably, or your dad probably gave you the what for about that. Oh, gosh, it's cute. Oh, it's precious. Okay, next step. So you're seeing it from the side right now, okay? Of course, this is going to go on top of our candy jar when we're all done. Now, we used one pick of cake balls to put in the center, okay, of the jar. Then we put the candy corn cupcake. And when we'll eventually put the top on, all that will be sealed in. But this is the cake balls that we cut off earlier. And now I'm going to use these tied around the base. So take and cut them just to, you don't need a lot of, oh, I just pulled that out there. Just maybe like a couple of inches. You don't want to cut them too little. Hi, Tony. Great to see you over here on Facebook. So glad you're here. I just yanked that one out, so I'm going to glue it back in. All right, there's one of the black ones. I'm going to take a little orange one. You do want to straighten out these stems a little bit to be able to put them in. Now the idea is I'm going to fill in just ever so slightly around the base. Here comes yellow. Okay, I'm just popping it in. So it looks like these great balls of candy just popped all around a big cupcake. Rotate it to the back. We're going to do a little in the back because you're going to be able to see all the way around this one. So let's put a few more. I'm having so much fun doing this. Thank you for being here. Yes, if you could give us some hearts. If you're watching on TikTok, if you could just tap the screen a few times, that'd be great. Give us a bunch of hearts. I mean, 1,000 times would be great too. And spread the love, of course, if you're on Facebook. And, of course, anytime you share our video, it really helps us out, no matter where you're watching. YouTube, when you do a share, or you just copy the link and share it, that's fantastic. It'll help us get more reach, and it can continue to help us grow, which will be able to provide continuous content for you guys, if you like what I make. Isn't it so cute, Pamela? So I'm just going around, so we're, like, making it super full down there. This is another big black one. This was from the first cake pop I cut up. So I'm popping it all around. Okay, so that served two purposes. Now I've got this fun candy party going on. This is all sitting on the jar lid, okay? So remember, if you wanted to fill this with regular candy, you could. And then here's my jar lid on top. Okay, oh my gosh, so stinking cute. This turned out great. Now I'm not quite done. I'm going to add a little bit more of the other candy corn just for some more things flying out of this dude. Oh my gosh. So the gumball machine is from Hobby Lobby, and last fall I also saw them at Target. They're the type of thing they get and they are gone like that. So if you see some, grab a few. I'm going to do another version of this for Christmas later, but this is our Halloween version. And of course, I figured Friday the 13th is the perfect day to do it on. Okay, I am cutting up the cute little candy corn. Remember, all these Halloween picks we do have in stock right now. I cannot guarantee you how long we will have any of that stuff in stock. So make sure you grab it before you wait too long, especially if you're trying to get ready for craft shows later in early fall. Okay, I'm just going to cut some of these up still into smaller sections so we can take and put these in. And I am going to place these in and around kind of my little black stems and have them popping. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? So we can have these kind of spiking out of there too. Thank you, Kim. You're amazing. Oh, that's okay, Tony. That's why I'm doing it now. I was surprised to see them in the middle of the summer, or the beginning of the summer here. So I was like, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Grab them. I especially love the black color. Okay, and let's come around and add a couple more. Hi, Kim. I'm so glad you're here joining us on Facebook tonight. We're having fun. Isn't that precious? Okay. So, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to make a set of these to go either on my mantle or my mom's mantle, or maybe just little kitchen accent pieces for the kitchen. And they do have other little gumball machines too. I grabbed the blacks so quickly, but we might have some where we could do like a summer theme with them. I definitely will play some more with them. I bet these will be great sellers. Okay, you can see how I've loaded that up. Oh my gosh, so cute. Just loaded with fun candy. And then remember, if I want to, I can use the Gorilla Glue or E6000. I can glue that lid right to the top. And that's what it looks like. I'm just showing you from the side. This is what the arrangement will look like when it's put together. And I'm recommending, if you're making it just for yourself, maybe just keep them separate, because this would be so cute filled with whatever candy. And get ready, take a note of this, it's going to blow your mind. You could you could come up with another way to make other little arrangements to set on the top where you could change this out. Here we use the lid, but you could do, you know, it would be awesome. We got to start off by putting some floral foam on here. So what I've pre-done is I've cut some little blocks. So I usually get the big floral foam sheets, and then I cut it into all the little pieces I can so I can get just a whole lot out of it. So what I'm going to do is dip these in glue, and then we're going to just, I've got my glue pot right over here, and I'm just going to give that a little scrape, and like you want a nice layer, okay? And we're going to tuck this right in on this right corner right here, boom, okay? We're taking that a little square. This is probably like a 2x3 square. And I'm going to scrape that off also, so it's got a nice coating on it. That's going to go on this side. So you get the gist. You see what I'm doing? I'm getting some foam everywhere. I don't need a ton of it. And then I cut a little block just to go right in front of this tummy, because that way I've got enough area to put all of my pieces in and just build this cute little centerpiece right up. So when I'm teaching in design school, I'm always going to be teaching you to build a really good solid foundation, because I want to teach you to also sell your work and how you can get the most for every piece that you work with. So in design school, I'm going to teach you first to create a really great solid foundation by starting with greenery. Of course, the mechanics of putting it together with the foam, getting that on, and getting this base just ready to rock and roll. So we're going to start with these. This is a bush that has leaves and berries, and we're going to put these kind of in the background. So if you want to make this for your house and use this on your mantle, you can definitely change the supplies. You can just get the turkey. You don't have to get all the supplies, whatever you want that will go with your look. But this is one of my, really, it's kind of a fun, quick arrangement. Now hold on to those good wired stems. We always want to save these for other projects. Now, with this, I want you to take it, I want you to move the leaves to the background and keep the pumpkins and the berries in the foreground. So it creates a base layer of greenery. And so if we're making a wreath, we would call that in design school, we'd call that greening the perimeter. And we're going to do that same thing with that centerpiece right now. So if you are in design school, give yourself a shout out in the comments. Tell us you're a Keleas Blue Merino here watching. We thank you so much. And if you would like to encourage anyone else out there watching, let them know how much you love design school and what you enjoy about it. That would really be a blessing to us and our family. All right, I'm going to cut these a little shorter. I'm a little bit shorter. I'm just trimming them down a little bit to just like about an inch stem. I've shook hands with them. I got them right where I want them. And now we're going to green that perimeter like I talked about. So, depending how long and wide your mantle is, I want you to think about how far to go out. So, I'm going to go out about 10 inches on either side. So, we're going to go into my glue here and give that a swirl around. And then just push it right in here because this is going to be greening the perimeter. So this will be the longest greenery. The rest of the greenery will be shorter. And just push that into the foam. All right, number one piece is in. Now I'm going to go on the right with the same thing. It's a pretty symmetrical design. What you do on the right, you'll also do on the left. So you're going to see me doing that right now. Let me move my moss over just a little bit. And now go in right here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so big and beautiful. I love it. Now, the reason I got the Spanish moss is because that's, if I need to cover up or hide anything, I'm going to be using this, okay? And that's our chartreuse Spanish moss there. All right, now I need to take my centerpiece and we're going to divide this into two pieces, okay? So we'll have two pieces that are kind of similar length, and we will just go one on the right and one on the left. So we're still working our perimeter. And we're going to just evenly space that out. I'm going to kind of keep these a little low. Yeah, how cute are you? Little gobble gobble. This gobble gobble's adorable. All right, I'm going to put that a little bit further back. Those hit each other in the foam. So if that happens, just move down a little bit in the foam. Okay, so I don't want it to come in forward too much. Just the perfect amount so it'll just kind of drape over the edge of my mantle. And you can work some pumpkins, some candlesticks beside it, but super cute turkey right here. Okay, now we're gonna get our bigger greenery bush, and this one right here, I've got two of these. We're gonna use this to fill in all that area, just so lush with greenery. So I want you to take and push them up just a little to where you've got about a 5-inch stem here, and they're not quite so spread out. So we get a nice bushy look. See that? That's what we're going for. Cut everybody to 2-inch stems and just kind of hack down this whole bush. And we're going to do one bush this way, and we're ready to go, and we're going to be putting that in now. Okay? So let's just start on either side like we've been doing. And we'll put this one on the right. All right, very good. And then I'll put one on the left in the same position. Going to work back and forth. Perfect. Now let's put some in the middle. So get two that are about the same. And then we'll put one on the right and one on the left in the middle. And I'm being really diligent not to cover up the turkey. Everything's going to stay low. And we're going to create this great base. Because when we get ready to put those pumpkins in and we put in the super cute orange florals that we're going to add, that's going to just fill right in. Now I'm going to come right to the middle and go a little bit higher here. And off the side, pretty. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And this will kind of come off the top of the phone. I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit. Trim that stem a little bit. It's a little bit too long. Don't be afraid to shorten them or adjust them as necessary. You see those coming up? Okay, cute. So I've got my base greenery, and then I've got my my leafy, like branchy greenery, okay? I'm going to take and push these down. And then I'm going to trim them all down as well. Here we go. So 5 inches with about a 1 to 2 inch stem is perfect. We can always shorten them more if we need to. So we're just trying to get really good coverage as we work our way around. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go on the top this time of the foam and over to the right. Okay? So make it a little shorter. And if you need to, grab it and then pull it. Ugh. There you go. And this one on the left. Okay, just right on top. Beautiful. Now let's put a little bit more. Now we're going to kind of come forward. So give that a little bit of a bend. I'm always talking about depth and dimension in design school, so I want you to know the same thing here if you're watching. depth and dimension allow you to get a higher value for your wreaths you're selling, and really they'll take your pieces to the next level, which is what you really want when you're creating. You want to keep stepping up your designs to reach the next level. And you know, if you want to be a seller, you want to attract the right clientele. Good coverage going on right here at the center. So I'll put this one in the right there, and we'll kind of bring it down. Super cute. So it's nice and filling out with greenery. I'm going to take this one and use it over on the right. I'm going to pull it down a little bit to get that shorter. This one's going to go over here. Yes, I love that. Super cute. So let's get a look at what we got going on right now. Let me pull my glue pot out of the way and show you how cute. So we've got this gray base going. We've got the leaves with the little mini pumpkins and then the greenery. I do have 2 pieces of this left. I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to put our orange grass in next. With this bush, I'm just going to take and tear each of these stems off of here, and then we'll trim it and get it ready to start putting it. Okay, so when you trim these down, you're going to get like a little, a longer stem and a shorter. And I'm going to cut those into 2 sections so I can kind of break it up a little bit into the 2 pieces. So let's do that with the whole bush. Cut off that longer one, and then this shorter. Everybody just needs a nice little 2-inch stems when you're trimming them. So you're always going to see me take a bush a lot of times, or a pick or a spray, and we're going to break them down into smaller pieces if we need to. On this design, we are working on filling out the base and not being so long, so they need to be kind of short. Okay, that's the magic of what we're doing here to prep this. This one might be a little too long. I'm going to do this into 2 pieces. Okay, so everybody gets pretty consistent in length. And what we want to do is, this is going to be our orange color that we're going to add along with our cute little pumpkins we're going to put in. So I've got 4 pieces of this, so I want to make sure I work these in evenly as I go through the whole piece. And then I'm going to hold these off to the side, and we'll use those in a moment too, once we get our pumpkins in. I'm going to take this one and just give it a little swim in the glue skillet here. And let's put one kind of on top. I'm going to lay it on top right here, out to the edge. Kind of over here to the side. Yes. So what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of this orange color going, because that's what we're going to have with our cute pumpkins. This one's going to run right up the middle. I'm going to put it just right here in the center, so it can kind of come out the beginning, the front. Whoa, gobble gobble, buddy. If you can't get that one to lay down, I'll trim it. Okay, let me trim him and I'll put him in separate. You can always do that. The foam is available for you just to put things in individually. Okay? It's kind of popping up, but it's not quite exactly sitting where I want it. Hopefully by the time I get the pumpkins in, it will cooperate. Now this one's going to go off to the left. Alright, off to our left, kind of cascading in between those 2 pieces of greenery, and we're kind of doing what we did on the right, we're doing it on the left, and look how fun that is. Alright, hold these little orange pieces off to the side, and it's time to grab our pumpkin. Our super cute pumpkins are coming in. And we're going to start with these, just cutting them off the stem into their long pieces, and definitely going to be breaking them up into smaller pieces because they are so much fun. But I'm just tearing them a little and cutting them. Now, if you were going to do like a fall tree that you wanted to put like full pumpkin stems, this would be great for that. You could use those long stems because it's so nice and long. Now, what I'm going to do is divide these into sections so I get nice, cute little sections like this of pumpkins. And I'm going to have a long and a short, I think, off each one. So this will be my short one, and this will be my long one. Okay? I'm going to do that with all 3 sections. And we'll have a short and a long. So let's start with those long pieces. I'm going to put the short ones in my bucket for a second. Then we'll come back to those. The long pieces, we want to use those cool wires and this cool vine that's on them. And use these right kind of coming out from the center to start with. How fun is that going to be? Because can you see that on your mantle? And it's kind of reaching out over the edge. Oh my gosh, this turkey never looked better. Okay, I'm going to find my other creepy cool one like this. And it's going to go on the other side doing the same thing. So one on the right, one on the left. I love, love, love it. Okay, just push that in the same area and let it come down. Now, I'm going to take the remaining pieces we have left, and we're going to cut them into little small pieces, which we've already got in the bucket here. All right, and let's take and start tucking these in. So we need one on each end first. So let's find a couple of these more dramatic ones, and let's put them on each end. Okay, so I'm dipping them in my glue. We're going to go on the right over here. I love him. This one's going to kind of put the pumpkins a little more underneath, so it's not quite so in your face. Do the same thing over here. A little bit kind of tucked into that greenery. Over to the side. Oh yeah. Kind of working on that dimension like I talked about earlier. Isn't that great? See our lines working? I've got these two work in the middle and those coming out the bottom. Let's put a nice big fat cluster right in the middle. Okay. Coming out straight. Isn't that awesome? Right there. And then these two on either side. So I'm going to tuck one to the right, kind of coming over into that area, and then we'll put one over into here. So we've got just this whole festival of pumpkins in here with grasses. Super cute. I'm loving it. Great filling in. And we're going to soften those now. We're going to bring back the greeneries and the pieces we had left, and we're going to work these in right now. I'm going to save those two pieces of green to the very last. And what I want you to do is grab these that just have kind of the white, and we're going to start to evenly distribute those. We have white here, we have white there, so we need a little bit more in each of these other sections. A little touch of this nice muted, it's kind of a brown white with a little touch of orange. We're going to put that on either side. So as we're doing this whole design, everything kind of transitions at the middle. You know, it goes from the center and out to the right and left. So when you start to make your own designs for your home, I want you to think about that when you're putting things together. How can I have this flow work? How does this transition of my florals work in here? That's really what makes your pieces so different and nice. And we're layering up those colors. You notice we didn't just use all the orange in one place or all the brown in one place. We worked harder to distribute those colors throughout the design. And that's what I want you to do on yours too, whether it's for you or you want to learn how to sell them with us over here at Keleas.com and learn to take your business to the next level. I'm here to help you. Let's bring this one in one more. Okay. Oh my gosh, so stinking cute. I love him. It's just fully loaded. I got a little bit of grass here that I'm going to kind of let come up against his body just a little bit right here in the middle. Kind of like a little fun homage to that other piece, kind of tucking up. Cute. Now, we put all that white in the foreground, and I'm going to soften it just a tinge by just doing some little clusters of the green up here at the front too. Okay, cut that stem just a little bit longer this time because we need a little bit of room to reach the foam. This is going to go right in here in the middle. So there's a lot going into this section, but it's worth it. Now, the last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to check in there. And if you can see any of your foam, you're going to come in and you're going to put a little bit of moss on it and tuck that in to cover up any mechanics so that when you've got a great piece ready to sell, ready to put in your Etsy shop or take to your craft show, and you are good to go. Hey Bloomerinos, it's Keleas. Let's play with some beautiful fall supplies to make the cutest little scarecrow centerpiece. So we've got our adorable scarecrow, and she is going to be like our focal point in the design. We're going to kind of put her in last, but what I want you to do is kind of find the spot she's going to go in. We're going to play with her. We're going to jazz her up a little. I want to pull her little hat back and make her super duper cute. But she's pretty tall, but we need to kind of get her in, you know, decide where she's going to go. And I usually like my larger pieces to be off to the side. So if she's going to go right here, you may not be able to see her whole body right this second. But I think if she's going to go right here off to the side, what we will do is I will leave that spot open for us to put her in towards the end, and we'll start building out the base first, okay? So I'm gonna put her over to the side. She can sit over here and patiently wait for us to get her beautiful abode rocking and rolling. So we're starting with the cutest little metal container. It's kind of in the same color palette as her vest. And we're gonna be using this spray right here for the bulk of the greenery. leaves, cute little berries, all the great accents. So that's going to go in here to fill up. I've got some fun twigs. Those are a lot of fun to kind of give that rustic look. These are artificial. I love them because they don't shed or anything like that. And then over here for the height in our design, we'll use this. This is a peony bush that has these cute little blooms on it that are really, really easy to work with. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. I've got 2 pieces of floral foam already mounted in. Those are glued in, ready to go. I like these handles on either side. When I order things to resell, I get things that are going to work great for shipping for those of you who sell. So these have these nice handles that are easy to attach if you're going to ship your items. If not, they still work great for all the different seasons. It's just a beautiful color palette. All right, so we're leaving that section open. And what you could even do is just kind of give yourself a little X here. Don't put anything right in here because that's where Mrs. Scarecrow is going to go. So I'm just going to put me a little mark with some scissors on that part. And let's start getting our greenery ready to go in. Now, if you're not already liking and subscribing and following, please do that so you won't miss any of our content. I love when we're putting out new videos to help show you how to do beautiful things for your home every season. And y'all know everything that you see me using here is available at Keleas.com. And when we do a project, we have the supply list for you at Keleas.com. And then you can head over there and anytime you click on a supply list, there will be a link to that video. If a video is password protected, that means it's a private video for our design school. And you are always welcome to join design school when it's open for new students or get on our wait list. All you got to do is head over to KeleasDesignSchool.com or you can go to WreathTeacher.com to help you grab a spot in our class. Now, I just tore those pieces off and then I just cut them off really nice and neat. And let's start what we call creating our perimeter. Whether we're making a wreath or a centerpiece, we have changes in direction and we have to create the perimeter to kind of give us a guideline for what we're doing. So we know we're going to go tall over here. We're going to have a lot of fun with all the width on this design right now, and we're going to do what we call set the perimeter. So this piece is going to go in, and I'm going to let it kind of break the plane of the container and just come over the edge. All right, that one's going off on the right, and this is going to come over the left. Now I'm going to have feet there, so I want to go right beside where her feet are going to go. Now, when you work with high quality materials like we sell on Keleas.com, you're able to manipulate those wires all kind of really nice. You don't have to use extra pick machines and take a lot of extra steps because it's all done for you in the quality product. All right, and this piece, let's have it kind of move to the front. I think we'll have it go this way, back out to the right. Let me pull our twigs over. We're going to work with those in a second. But I want to show you this one going to the front of the design. Now this is my electric skillet with hot glue right beside me. And it has got everything we need to put these pieces in. Look at this. How pretty. So these are kind of spilling over. All right. Now, I'm not going to worry about too much on the back right now. We're going to make this a one-sided design just to keep our costs down a little bit. We'll fill in back here, but we want this to be pretty. It could go on a hall table, somewhere it's against the wall. Maybe you have a mirror behind it, and then it'll just look pretty in front of that or something like that for location. Now, I want to put some twigs in, kind of going in between each one of these sections. So I'm going to grab my little twig piece, pull it out, and we will start to make our own little clusters of twigs. Super easy to do. Just take and cluster it like this. Bring it on itself so you make kind of a little loop with the tail. So when this goes in, it's a little cluster like this. Now how you hold that together is you need a cable tie. So I'm going to grab one right here and just make myself a little cluster of twigs. So anytime you work with a drapey type product, there's times you don't want it to drape quite as much. You can make your own little cluster. So I just cluster that up just like that, and we're going to put that main stem. We need that main stem because it's strong, and that's going to go right in front of the little feet over here, and we want it just to pop over the edge. Oh, so cute. Let's make another little cluster for the other side. I got to grab some more cable ties. Here they are. All right, now let's put one on that side. So I'm going to cut another long one, and basically I'm trying to get that strong stem, and then we can just let it kind of drape over. Let me cut it a little bit. Let me take a little bit out. Tell you what, the stem is still strong here, so I can use this kind of standing up in the arrangement, and I'll take a couple of these more drapey ones and attach it to here, okay? So basically just make your own little clusters. Loop it around. All right, we got our cute little cluster, and we can pop that in the design right there. It's fun to be whimsical with these pieces. I love that little touch. All right, let's get this tight. All right, and then we're gonna have this kind of come down, just like that. Cut the end of your cable top off. Today I'm using the long ones because I have those in brown, and those will be so pretty coming in here. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Look at her. Look how cute. I'd like to go ahead and get our scarecrow in. But before we do that, let's get her looking super cute. Let's jazz her up a little. So I'm just gonna lay her down. We're gonna give her a little light surgery. I think it's cute when her little hat kind of pops up a little bit, where we can kind of get it folded back. And because this hat doesn't have any wire built in, we're gonna take and just glue that down right here at the top. So I'll use my electric skillet with the hot glue, and we'll just bring that right into the top. Let's put a little of that coming out of the, I'm gonna put a little glue just gently up here. Now I don't want to push too hard because it'll push that up her lap, and then we'll push that right on top. You can add more florals. See what it is? Let's put one on the other side, coming behind her. I'm just cutting off some little pieces from in the design. So I like that a little bit better. I can see her face better. And then I'm just gonna hold this here and let that get set up. And then once she's ready, we're gonna go ahead, and I like to kind of manipulate her arms a little bit, straighten out her dress, and then we're going to put her into our container. So we've got the front done, we got her little hat ready with the twigs, and now I'm ready to go ahead and put her right up here in that same section we talked about for our container. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put some glue on her feet just to get her, we can just glue her straight in, and then we're going to use a wire to secure her also. So let's dip her into our glue pot. Be careful because that's a lot of glue that's going to go under those little feet. Now I want you just to slide it off. Okay, in design school we use the electric skillet a lot to heat up our glue. It's just a really great way to manage our easy placement. Now you have to be careful if you're not using something besides the scarecrow. She's super lightweight, but if you put something heavy over here or backward, it could flip over your container. So always think about, okay, what am I using? How much weight do I have going? She's fine, that's gonna work good. Just because I like to double secure this, I'm gonna take, this is an 18 gauge wire, and we're just gonna take, and I'm gonna go around one of her cute little feet up here. And I'm just gonna do a little crisscross, so I've got enough wire to go into my base. So all I'm doing is crisscrossing it around. And then this can push into the base to help secure it right there. I'm gonna do it on our other leg. Now you're not gonna see any of this, it's gonna be over here in the back. But now I have extra plans to hold her on, besides glue, just in case she were to get picked up by her head and move her arrangement. So this is gonna push down into the foam. So I'm just kind of getting a little bend on it, and I wanna put a little glue on the ends before I push it in. Okay, so that's kind of our backup plan. I'm always teaching you to have a backup plan for placement, security. I'm not big on just shoving things in, putting glue in. We have a lot of strategy when it comes to placement, why we're putting things where we're putting them, the lines we're creating with our design, all of that stuff, because you guys can continue to improve your creations, whether you're making it for yourself or you want to sell them or you want to learn all the things and do videos and have, you know, your own social media where you're creating. I'm going to help you learn how to do all that properly. So she's in nice and strong. She's got her backup plan, and she's looking super duper cute. We're going to put a bow in, okay, because it's going to fill up a lot of real estate. And I think I want the bow to be like right about kind of here, tucked in to her feet. I need to leave some room beside her because that's where we're putting this bush. So we've got a whole plan here. What I want you to do with this is take, if you need the link to how to make this bow, just let us know in the comments. But I want you to take one of your extra spare pieces of wire that you cut off another stem. That's what I'm using here. It came off this long one, has a nice long piece of wire. And we're just gonna take and tie this cable tie on there so that we get a nice long stem where I can place it in our arrangement. Now, get it tight, put a little glue on that end because we're gonna make sure it's not gonna pull out. And we don't want it coming out, gotta stay in there, otherwise it'll be yanking off your whole design. Okay, just wiggle that around a little bit. Okay, she's in, our cute little bow is ready, and we're gonna put her in right there. So I'm gonna just rotate her kind of to the top of this wire and bend her just a little bit. I gotta give her a little bend. There she is, good. And I'll put her in right there. I'll make her a little bit shorter. All right, now the next move is to put a little glue on the end of the wire. I'm bringing the glue to it just because it can end up getting all these tails in your arrangement. We don't want that. So that's kind of gonna go to the front here and tuck in right by her feet. I'm leaving this space open because that's where we're gonna be coming in here in the back, and we're gonna be putting that big floral bush, okay? So Bo's in, she's looking so sweet here. She's so cute. She got a pumpkin in her hands. Now we're ready to use this big floral bush. Okay, so I'm gonna put her to the side for a second while we prep this one up. Basically, I want you to hold it up. If it were to be this length and is that long enough, that's a little bit short. I'd like it to be a little bit higher than her and a little bit of combo of both. So what we're gonna wanna do is try to tear this so we can get a little longer wire. So usually when you tear down a bush, you can get a longer wire. And that's what we're gonna try to do here. So I'm gonna tear them all. And then you do have to trim the little messy part off at the bottom because you wanna be able to have a clean way to put it in your arrangement. So just break that down, take off those last couple of inches so they're still very long. And we've kind of done that with the entire bush. Now, let me bring her back to the middle here and let's start to reconstruct this bush right beside her. All right, so the first piece that's gonna go in is gonna be the tallest. I'm putting that right by her head right here. This is so cute, look at her. All right, number one piece going in a little bit taller than her head, and that is perfect. There's another tall piece here too, and we're gonna sort of put those back to back so we have them right next to each other. So you're kind of paying attention to the length of the stems when we got them off that bush, and we're gonna take and now work a little shorter. So when I bring this one in, let's take a look. Oh, perfect. You see how it's a little shorter? Coming a little lower. That's exactly what we want. And I'm tucking this right in front of the bow, right beside her. See how cute that's coming together? All right, I'm gonna bring it in. If it's a little tall, like I'm ready to go lower, I'm gonna cut a little off and we'll just let this start to go a little bit lower. We've got a couple high, but that's enough. Then we're ready to rock and roll lower. I think I'm gonna put one more lower, and then I'm already ready. I wanna take a little of this bush, and let's pretend like this grew right up beside her, but a little bit grew over here too, because that's cute. A little bit grew on this side, so we're gonna cut these shorter, and these are gonna come over here down to where her feet are. So she's in a sweet little scarecrow fall garden. So you got some cute flowers growing in here with her. And that's gonna just pop out this side, just a touch. Just a touch. You can give those a little bend to kind of break the plane. Isn't that super cute? Look at her, she's looking so cute. Oh my gosh, super cute. Let me turn her to me just a little bit. Let me just double check. I think we'll put one more flower right here, kind of coming a little bit lower. So when I cut this one, I'm gonna get a couple of pieces, but I'll just keep them bundled together and hold it as a cluster. And we'll just put this in right here in front of her feet. We'll get a little bit of touches of that floral going in good. Yes, yes, she's looking so cute. All right, let's take our last floral bush. We're gonna need this to fill in the back and kind of clean up what we got going on back here. We just need a little bit back there and a little bit more to the front. So take this one and break it down. Don't forget to save this good wire. This one has a good wire that we can reuse like we used to put the bows on. So definitely do that. We're gonna clean off that nasty part of the paper because we don't want that just building up and you know, getting in our glue. All right, so let me pick what I think is my shortest piece, and I'm gonna use that kind of in the front, and I want it to kind of cascade out over the other sections that we already had. Now I accidentally just pulled that leaf out, and that's fine. I'm going to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to pull both of those leaves out because we'll use those in a second, but I want to just get to the pretty filler part here so that I can layer that on top of these other leaves we already got in here. So basically you guys can take apart a pick anytime and use part of it in one section of the design and part in another. Okay, let's do that again. I'm going to keep the leaves off, pull the green pretty rose leaf off. Just pull it straight, it should pull out. Easier said than done sometimes, right? Might have to tear it. Has a good wire. You can cut it too also if you want, just cut it right here. I just want to try to get some of that good wire because it'll be easier to reuse. Where I'm going to put it in here. All right, turn in front of me again. Oh, you're looking so cute. Let me fluff your bow just a little. I'll bring my bow down just a hair. All right, I want to use another piece of the twig kind of coming over her little feet over here. I gotta move this out. That was kind of tucked under her dress. Now there's not a lot of places to go, but I'm gonna go right between her feet here into the foam. And then that can kind of come out. Okay, see how cute she's looking now? She's looking good. Now I saved all these leaves. These can go in the back here. Remember, I don't need to use anything fancy in the back. These are the same color palette. So I'm gonna tuck these right back here by me. And what we're doing is we're using these as a filler right now. So they're just filling in. Okay, so there goes one. All right, here goes two. Right in here. Okay, I'm gonna turn her around again so I get the last two in. She's spinning. She's spinning with us. You want to hear that crunch into the foam so you know it's going in nicely. Here comes one more. I got a little glue string going on. So we separated the leaves because you know what? We wanted to see a little more, I want to be able to see these fun fillers and not, you know, layer up the leaves at that point. She is cute, guys. Okay, one more pick. I do have more twigs. Now, I've been using this bunch of twigs on a couple of different projects. So we could even make a cute little twig bunch for the back here. Let's do that. Here's that longer piece we had where we said we're going to put some twigs kind of shooting up. So let's do that. Let me see how tall this one could be. So you need a little strength to hold it up. So you have to kind of trim it to where they're not too floppy. Because this bush is really made just to stand up and not it's made to hang down, not stand up. But you can trim it off and still get like a few cute little spiky bushes. So let's put those in here. I'm going to do that right now. Because I love adding twigs. Whether they're artificial or real twigs, they're some of my favorite things to add to your piece, especially fall and Christmas. Because it's just that natural vibe. I love that. Come in here, baby. This one, I'm just putting one on either side of that cluster we have made at the beginning. Isn't she cute? Look how cute she's getting! Y'all, I can't wait to see yours like this. Okay, now I've got some floppy twigs here still. Let me pull that off. If you see that, that's like a support piece when they're molding these florals. So if you ever see like a piece of plastic that doesn't belong, you just pull that off. All right, I need one more piece that stands up. Let's see how much height he can take. Let's try here. Cut those off. So I'm just cutting it off to where I get a nice strong piece. There we go. So these could be my floppy ones that go in that hang over the edge. And I'm going to put this one, let's see, we'll put one more right beside her right here. That'd be a perfect little spot to add a little more twig by her body. Because this one we can kind of make her hand, put it up by her hand right here. We put one a little lower, but this is a little taller. Okay, look how cute. It's up here by her hand. Doesn't that look great? Okay, we're gonna make a little twig cluster now with a couple of these pieces. So I'm gonna take and cluster a couple, and we're gonna have these kind of come out of the back. So let me push these into the foam right here. I'm gonna put this in the back right by her shoes. Okay. So we got some twigs rocking right in the middle here. And then let's put a little each of these on either side. Okay, I'm gonna just glue this one in over here. This one I gotta get in that section right between her feet. which we can do, and it can come out on that side. And then let's have this one over on the right. I think we're kind of in the home stretch, and she turned out so cute. I've got one pick left that we probably will take and divide up, and maybe put like a little bit of berry here in the back, because she looks pretty good as far as her berries. Oh, let's put a little in between the bow. I changed my mind. Let's kind of what we call break the plane of the bow. So we break it up a little bit with some floral or greenery. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna pull out the leaf again. So this we can use in the back, but I wanna use these fun little pieces to break the plane of the bow. So what I'm gonna do is cut this into a couple of sections so I can easily work with it. A tall one and a short one. All right, and this kind of came apart a little when I was working with it. If you want to make your own little cluster, just take one of the strong wires, just go around, okay? And now you've made your own little cluster without having to get any more equipment or anything. We just worked with what we had. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this between the bows. So this is going to go in here. Kind of, I'm getting into the foam. And then we're going to pull that through. See how we can pull it out? Right there, and it's kind of coming out of the bow. So it gives the impression that the flowers just grew all in around the whole arrangement. Let me look at it one more time. Let's do one over here on the other side. Give that a swirl. And I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna turn her back to you just a second. This one, I don't wanna burn myself. I gotta see what I'm doing. And then pull that up through the tails of the ribbon. So that's coming up through the loops and the tail, and you can see how cute she is when you add all that dimension and these twigs and these fun pieces. Okay, y'all, this is our subscription box, our latest one, our BBB box. Now, you can see it's already cut open. I've already been in it, and you might have joined us live before and seen what we made together. So I'm going to show you that first. And while I'm doing that, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and come back for more floral fun. So we have a subscription box that comes out every month, and it's seasonal. And what it is, it's floral supplies that coordinate and go together. So it takes all that stress out of going to Keleas.com and going, hey, what do I get? What do I want to play with? And this is part of the box. So we unbox this on a live. If you want to see the unboxing and how we made this project, just let me know in the comments. Just say, hey, I need the link to the first video, and we'll send that to you too. Today, we're going to use the rest of the box and create a second project. But isn't this gorgeous? So they're going to coordinate and be very simple. I'm not simple, but similar. But the next one is going to be totally different, okay? So here is the first project, guys. It just turned out stunning. It's kind of got a little bit of a boho vibe with a little bit of pampas and a little bit of wispiness, but it's still very neutral and natural for the fall season. Now, those subscription boxes, BBBB box, they are seasonal. So next month, it just depends when you see this video and when it's coming out. But once we get done with our fall collection of boxes, they shift to Christmas and winter. So if you're watching this in real time and not on a replay later, you'll know that the next box shifts to Christmas. But they're always seasonal, and that goes with all of our subscription boxes. So the only thing that didn't come in the box was the wreath base. So on our next project, the only thing that's not going to come in the box is going to be the candlestick. We're going to make a candlestick arrangement using what's left in the box. And then we're going to add some ribbon too. So those would be the two things you have to run out and grab somewhere else. Now this particular one, I just grabbed at Walmart. I liked it. And let me show you why. Look at how pretty the brown is to go with these colors. So I know if I'm going to put these similar type products on here, that's going to look perfect. Like the muted tone is just gorgeous to go together. And if you wanted to go with a darker candlestick, that would work also because of the fact that this wreath is dark and it looks great together. So keep those visual cues in mind. All I've done so far is we put some hot glue on there, and I've glued on a little bit of foam. Nothing too difficult so far. So good. Now let me grab the rest of that box and let's take a peek what's left, and let's finish our unboxing. Okay, so here's what's left in the subscription box. This is a beautiful berry, and it's kind of like a wheat bush. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty and wispy. I love that one. Then we have this one. We have a little bit of pampas left, just a touch. We used about half of the, maybe a little bit more than half on the other project. Oh my gosh, great. We still have 3 pumpkins. I love that. All right, and this is going to be our filler. A beautiful grass with berry. Okay, oh my gosh, this is very similar to the grass we used on the pumpkin arrangement we made the other day. Okay, so that's the rest of our box. That's all we had in the subscription box. So we're going to try to make this just using what's left. And the other thing I'm going to add in is I'm going to add a bow. And I want to show you. I just picked out a very neutral. You may already have this ribbon at home, but this is the bow we're going to be using. All right? So let's get to town and start creating. All right, if you haven't liked, subscribed, and followed yet, you need to do that, please. Do all the things so you can be never missing one of our videos or any of our new content or live sales. Y'all, you don't want to miss any of the action. Today, y'all, the reason I'm not doing the video live is I'm getting my hair highlighted for the very first time. So if you have any advice for me on that, put it in the comments. It is an attempt to cover gray hair. I'm totally not accepting it. Tell me if you get your hair highlighted and if there's any tips I need to know. You can see here I'm just shredding these. I call that shredding because I'm just splitting them into long, long pieces. And then the little papers come out. You just throw those away. Makes it really, really easy to prepare your products when it comes to doing these designs. Now, if you're a subscription box subscriber and you don't make arrangements, it's not a big deal because you can always tuck these in around pieces in your home and you never have to worry about not having the right seasonal pieces to do that with. And I'm excited to be able to show you those tips and techniques from our new studio. I don't know if you've heard the news, but we have been very blessed to be able to get a new space and build a new studio with more space and hopefully different camera angles and all the fun stuff. So I'm very, very excited about it. Okay, I'm just going to trim these off a little and get them nice and neat. So this is basically what we have to work with to fill in around. We don't have like a separate greenery. That's it. Now, I've got my main focal point is going to be the 3 pumpkins. So I want to definitely put these in first. And we're not going to go super high. We're going to keep it kind of a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is just cut these 3 off and we'll put these on first to get some great spacing and get them as our focal point in, okay? So one's higher, the others are shorter. And we just have a nice little small piece of foam here so we're not going off really huge. Now you can always make yours larger if you want and add some other greenery to do that. So this one's going to go in the back. Okay, let me grab my little bitty Lazy Susan. That would work great for this. We'll just pop it right on there. And now the easy thing with that is I can spin it around. Can you guys see that though on camera? Let me bring it here. Might be just a little too tall. Hold on. I gotta adjust the camera. All right, so I put this one in the back. I might have to just make it flat. Sometimes with the camera angle so tight you can't see it. That's okay. You'll be able to get the gist. So this is going kind of in the back. And then I'm going to put these a little shorter. Like one towards the front here. And then we're going to have one coming out in this section. Okay? So you guys can see how it's laying out. All right? So that's how our 3 pieces are going in. So when I stand that out, you can see the 2 lower pumpkins. Oh, there you go. Let's move it forward a little bit. And then you guys can see better. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm trying to make that camera angle bigger. Okay. Now, I want to fill in between those with, I'm going to start with this grass as our filler. And we got to cut it a little bit shorter. And let's put one piece in right here next to Mr. Pumpkin. You know, and I didn't think about it. The other thing you're going to need also is you're going to need some Spanish moss to cover up any mechanics at the bottom. So I like to use Spanish moss. You could use something else, like some extra leaves left over from another project. Whatever you want, but you're going to need a little bit of that to cover our handiwork. So I'm kind of going right beside Mr. Pumpkin and filling that right out. And let's take a little bit of the wheat bush and put it in the middle because it's got a really cute berry. I'm I'm going to cut it where it's a little shorter and have it come down. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. Now my bow is going to work into here in a little bit. So I'm leaving that open and I'm just going to work around my pumpkins now. Let's take our little berry spray and I'm going to keep on filling in around it. So if you haven't played with a little candlestick design, I'm going to give you an insider tip right here. You want to stay short and low and don't go so big and bold. It's tempting to go big and bold. If you do that, your cost goes super skyrocketing high. So Kate, say short and low until you get better at making them. Then start to work on going super duper high, okay? All right. Ask me how I learned these things. Guys, this is going into year 26. So, y'all, lots of trial and error. Trial and error. Lots of it. I'm going to have to go double check my DBA and make sure I'm telling y'all right. It's 25 or 26. I get so excited. A lot of practice. Okay, let's come out this way. And I'm kind of getting good spacing on all my berries, all right? So she's kind of flying, she's flanking, she's looking good. I'm going to take and cut this one piece off here, and we'll come and put it back in shorter. So don't be afraid to do that too. Just take these, cut them out, bring them back. And I'm always leaving a bit of the thick stem there. That way I can push it into the foam. Okay, good deal, good deal. So far, so good. Now, before I continue to fill in with anything else, I'm going to go ahead and put my bow in the bow zone right here. Okay, so that way I can make sure I like the placement of the bow. Alrighty. And so I've got this on a floral pin, and I'm going to just glue that right into my foam also. And this is a simple bow recipe. We do bows on Wednesday, guys. If you never come join us for bow making, there's always new bow videos or new live videos on Wednesdays making bows. So you're going to see the back for a second. I'm going to fluff it the way I want it. You got to fluff it the way you want it. Oh my God, so stinking cute already. Okay, so bow's in. Looking really good there. My pumpkins are in, going around. Now, I'm going to leave this flat for a second, and we're going to work to fill in all the detail around the bow. Okay, so let's take these. And if you watch the pumpkin video where we have a little pumpkin kit, door hanger kit, that's very reasonable. It's a great entry-level project. This is the same grass I used on there, and it breaks up really, really easy. So I can take this and cut these super short. And great idea of doing that is, the reasoning rather, is because I can tuck them in and use them all around the bow. Our design school, guys, opens up twice a year. And I teach you the principles of design and why we're doing what we're doing and what it does to the eye, what it does to the value of your wreath if you're a reseller, why you want to do certain things to add value and to make your wreath stand out. So keep an eye on for class opening up soon. If you're watching this in between class openings, you just want to get on our wait list, of course. And you can do that anytime at KeleasDesignSchool.com. It's a different website. There's a link for it on Keleas.com too. Jump over there because we do this every week and it's all recorded and live. And you get access to me and to many, many projects and an amazing community of other designers. See how I cut this to its own little cluster? We're going to use that and come on down and pop that down here too. So I call this like merchandise. Merchandise around the bow. Break the planes of all the textures and all the different levels of the design. Okay, so I've clustered a few of these together. We're going to trim that, cut it, and I may have to pin this in. When you get really thin, you might pin it in. If you use a pick machine, you could do that too. Keleas doesn't use a pick machine, but I'll just pin it with a little floral pin up in there in the bottom. And then we'll tack a little glue on it. Only because I had to cut these really short to hold them. And I'm going to try to hide that behind my bow. So just pick up that skirt of that bow. Excuse me, bow. Excuse me, darling. I need to tuck this in here, and I don't need you impeding my progress. All right, good. I like those little soft pieces in there. Now I'm going to put a little glue. You can pump a glue gun. I don't use a glue gun either. It's just glue coming out of my electric skillet. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of moss in there too. That just kind of makes a little sandwich and it hides that pin. Okay. In. Looks so far so good. Isn't that looking good at the front? That looks great. Okay, and let me get one more berry cluster. And we're going to put it a little bit tighter to the bow in there, tighter. That's how it's going to look like this, guys. But I'm working on it from the side, so we can work on the little center area. And I'm going to put this one in just a little bit more to the back. Okay, so the nice thing about putting that bow in is it takes up a little real estate. It fills in beautifully behind our pumpkins. And now what we can do is just fill in a little bit more. See how cute she's looking? You're kind of seeing it from, look at that. Now looking good? Great. So I want to fill in a little bit more around here. So I'm just going to put it straight up and we're going to keep adding in this direction. All right? Let's do it. Thanks for the follows. I see you guys following and liking. I'm so glad you're here. And, you know, fall, Christmas time is really our go time where we are creating like crazy. Now, I'm going to keep putting a little bit more around, pointing to the front here for a second. And then we're just going to take a minute and we're going to make the back look pretty. So I've got a nice, beautiful spray. I've got a good shape. Let me just look at it myself. I like it. The only thing I'm going to cut back is this little piece right here. So if you see a piece that's kind of shooting out a little bit farther than you want it, take it out. And I'll pop this in. Now, when we're all done, I will have finished pictures for you. We'll be posting here on Keleas.com. You'll also see them on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, all the things. You can see it finished and how it all came together. Okay, now we're going to work on the back because the back is just green moss back there. Now, I've got a little bit left. We're going to fill in, but we want to make sure we get it nice, short, and tight with this. And then we're going to cover the mechanics just with Spanish moss. So let's just lay it down where you can see what we're working on and cut these down a little short. Okay, because we don't want this shooting up above. Like I said, if you start to make it really big and tall, you have to fill in a lot. So keep it short and a little more compact. You know how good things come in small packages? Same concept here. Okay, let's trim these down. Oh my gosh, we're doing so good. We've made this so far. I think we'll get done under 20 minutes, which is amazing for a candlestick project. They can take a little bit longer, but we're rocking it out. So these are all short, and we're going to fill in right around the base here. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to mix in the Spanish moss. So we have 3 different colors of Spanish moss on Keleas.com. They don't come in the subscription boxes because they're big, huge bags. I think they're a full pound, so they're sold by the weight, not volume. And they come in chartreuse, dark green, and light green. Really, they can work for any season. They mix and match. But for fall, I like light green or chartreuse. And then in the Christmas, I generally switch back to the dark green. And in spring, we use the dark green a lot. So it kind of works out great filling in with the 3 different colors. But just start off with one color, use it, and then you can add another color to your collection when you run out. Okay, so I filled in nice and full back here. So if somebody sees the back of the arrangement, it does look very nice and neat and clean. Now, grab your Spanish moss. I keep mine just in a metal bucket like this so I can easily bring it out to the party. Bring it to the party, moss party. Now, I gotta find my floral pins, which I think are over here. I got them right here. Excuse me. Long reach, folks. I don't glue the moss. You just take and make nice little bowls. And in this case, we're trying to cover a flat surface right here. So just take and tuck that there. This one's going to kind of go up by the stems, and I'll put one more below. So you see how beautiful the chartreuse looks with this, and it just fits perfectly. You can moisten your Spanish moss if you want to. Just don't overdo all that. This is it is dyed and preserved, so we don't need to be inviting water back to it a lot. A light misting is fine. I do not generally do that, though. I just get in here and, like I say, I pick it, stick it, shove it in. No, not really shove it. Very politely price it in. And you can see I'm fluffing it back up to cover the floral pins as I push it in. Okay. Just work that all around to hold these in and cover any of our mechanics. It's not the glamorous part. Some people do this first on their designing. I prefer not to, because then I end up having to work around it, and I don't like to work around it because it kind of gets in your way. I like to come in and use it at the last, and you'll find you use a lot less if you do it at the last moment. Another thing you could do that's kind of neat and clean is if we had like a chunkier piece of foam, we could cover it with ribbon also around the edges. And that I would do first, but you have to have a design that's going to work with that. All right, let me keep putting it in here till we've kind of covered all of our foam. How are we doing on time? We did pretty good. And just crush that up. Now we got to come back and make our bow look beautiful. That wasn't too bad. We didn't make too big of a moss mess. I think we did pretty good, all things considering. But there is our candlestick, guys. Doesn't it look amazing? I think it turned out so beautiful. And I'll get some good pictures of it out in the sunshine so you can see how pretty it is. And we'll take pictures with it with the wreath. Oh, you know what we forgot? We've got our pampas. Oh, we're not done yet. We got to add just a little touch of that drama. The drama. Okay, let's do that real fast. We'll add the pampas. Where are you, pampas? I forgot, I dropped her right here. So let's put a couple touches of her in. Man, just when you think you're done, the drama is here. When I thought about taking those pictures together, I was like, oh, but where's the pampas? Here it comes. I love that we had 2 pieces of it left. All right, so I'm going to use them kind of opposite angles to each other. I think that would be beautiful. And I'm going to soften it by letting it kind of go behind some of the florals here. Okay, so we'll just push this one in. Oh, yeah. So if you want to be more dramatic, then use it in the foreground. If you want to be more subtle, then use it in the background. And that's kind of what I did on the wreath. I didn't let it be the massive dramatic part of the whole piece. Look at that. Okay, let's have this come down. I'm trying to see. Those are at the same length. Let's cut these a little shorter. I'm going to pull them out. They look just like little feathers. All right, let's give that a twirl in the glue pot and bring it down. Come on down. And we're just going to let these softly push in. Oh, beautiful. And I want this one just a tad bit shorter. So what I'll do, and I did this also when we made the wreath, y'all. I'm just going to sacrifice a little and have it shorter. And you could keep this to tuck in at the top of the bow here. So I'm going to take this little piece, we'll tuck it in, just really softly in, beautiful, and then I'm going to use the other piece at the bottom. So we just added a little bit of subtle drama without a whole lot of craziness, and it's soft and beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love it, y'all. All right, check to see the finished pictures, and I'll see you guys next time on Keleas.com. Bye, everybody. Have fun with flowers.